Today we'll be putting this 2008 computer up against a modern computer. So here is the list of hardware for both computers. The 2008 computer was very good in its day, but we'll see how well it gets on against a modern computer. The first test is to see how long they both take to boot up. So let's start the first test to see how they compare. And I've just hit the power button on both of them. I won't include the part where you have to put in a password because that's just down to how fast the user can type out a password and hit enter. So I'll stop the timer when they reach the desktop screen. And the 2021 computer is already there. So it took 14 seconds, and on top of that, the computer is completely usable as soon as it reaches the desktop screen. So straight away I can go on the internet, open up a file or folder, play a game or whatever I like. So it's a good start for the 2021 computer. So let's forward a little to when the other computer reached the desktop screen. The 2008 computer got to the desktop in 1 minute and 6 seconds. Not only did it take longer to get there, but when it finally did, the computer wasn't very responsive for about another minute or so, as Windows was still loading in the background, making it virtually impossible to use the computer until it had completely finished booting up. So next we're going to test the broadband speed on both computers. The reason for this test is because some of the much older computers cannot keep up with the fast broadband service. The broadband coming in is 100 meg, and as you can see, the faster computer is more than capable of keeping up with that. In fact, even if the broadband coming in was 2500 meg, the new computer would still be able to keep up with all that data coming in. So as shown here, the older computer is able to keep up this time, so it had no problems in this test. Next, I tested both computers' main drives with Crystal Disk Mark. The 2001 PC has an M.2 NVMe SSD, whilst the 2008 PC has a hard disk drive as its main drive. So these test results are showing that the 2021 computer is capable of having its data read at up to 3418 megabytes a second, and data can be written to the drive at up to 3104 megabytes a second. But as shown here, the 2008 computer has a much slower read and write speed, which will make moving data around many times slower. So let's put their main drives for a real-world test. Let's transfer a folder that has about 5 gigabytes of data in it from the desktop and into another folder. In other words, this 5 gigabyte folder is being duplicated on the same drive. Well, you can see that the 2021 computer can do this very fast and has completed the task in just 4 seconds. The 2008 PC is trailing behind, and we can see here that its transfer rate is many times slower. After quite a bit longer, it eventually finished copying the 5 gigabyte folder in 2 minutes and 45 seconds, so the older computer is about 40 times slower in this test. So next, let's see how long it takes to transfer a 1 gigabyte folder from a USB flash drive and onto each computer's main drive. The 2021 computer is having no problems getting through this task and has taken only 4 seconds to transfer the 1 gigabyte folder from the USB flash drive and onto the desktop screen. The 2008 computer, on the other hand, is still going. So the 2008 computer finally finished transferring the 1 gigabyte folder from the USB flash drive after 30 seconds. So now let's do a CPU test. For this I used CPU-Z. So let's click on Bench CPU to start the test for the 2021 computer. Just here it will give a score for the CPU when using all of the CPU's threads. In other words, a score for when using all of the CPU's power. And just here it will give a score for when using a single CPU thread. You can see here that the CPU is at 100% usage when the first test is run, and only a fraction of the CPU is used when the single thread test is run. Once both tests have completed, the CPU usage returns back to almost zero. So here are the scores for both computers. The newer computer has a much better result once again, and not just by a small margin either, with the multi-threaded performance being 6 times faster than the older PC. So for the last test, I used the Heaven benchmark to see how well each computer would score with their graphics performance. I ran both tests in HD resolution. Just a reminder that the 2021 PC has a Nvidia RTX 3070 graphics card, whilst the 2008 PC has a Nvidia 9800 GT. So the 2021 PC reached a score of 7,359 with an average of 292 frames per second, whilst the 2008 PC reached a score of 295 and gave an average of 11.7 frames per second. So in this test, the 2021 PC is about 25 times faster. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed comparing these two computers to see how they would compare. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.